Welcome to the Tactical Dent Tech Podcast. You are now part of a small underground movement of dent technicians from all over the world. We are on a mission to change our industry with innovation, intelligence, and skill. But because we don't rely on an insurance company to steer customers our way, we need to do things different. We need to do things smarter. We do that through a network of technicians that we call the Tactical Tech Movement. Now let's get this revolution started. All right, let's go to comments. Hey, what's happening, everybody? John Hiley and Angela Hiley here with the Tactical Dent Tech Podcast. Live for all of you that haven't caught on yet. We are doing this live, and I just want to let you guys know that we are committed, fucking committed to do this on most Sundays.
Wait a minute, on most Sundays? You told me that it was supposed to be every Sunday.
We are going to try really hard to do this on every Sunday, guys.
Yeah.
So, hey, what's going on, Brian? How are you doing? And we got an interesting podcast for you today, because if you did not notice and you scroll down one post below this video, we started a new Marketing Savage group. And any of you guys who have followed our podcast in the past, you do know that I have a book coming out called The Marketing Savage. Now, a lot of you guys and gals out there that I invited that are not in the dent removal industry, well, this is for everybody. This is for any industry. And we do got a specific avatar, and it's typically for people who are business owners. But that's not to say that if you don't work in like a marketing department or something like that, that you'll definitely get a lot out of it. Or if you're looking to start a business, you'll get a lot out of it. I've been doing the Marketing Revolution podcast for quite a while, and I've been re-upping that bad boy, some new episodes, and got a lot of good tutorials over there in the Marketing Savage group. So check it out over there. I know a lot of you guys became members. I think we just signed up 200 members today alone. And
Yabby.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk a little bit about what I think is a core structure, and that'll come here momentarily, which we're actually calling it M4, and it's like the 4 elements of life. It's a lot how I live and how I aspire to even become better. So it's something I actually finished today. We're going to be revealing to you here in a little while. My mom used to do that shit.
I know she taught. Listen, so when Jonathan was like a little kid, it was so funny. John and I went out and did some stuff, and we came back, and Jonathan's like, "Mom, you gotta see this. You have to see what Grandma Hiley showed me." And Jonathan goes like this. He goes,
she taught every little kid that, and we all thought it was so cool until we grew up and we're like, the fuck did she?
So now if you bring it up to Jonathan, Jonathan's like, "Don't do that. Mom, don't do that."
Embarrassing, huh? Embarrassing. You know, the funny thing about my mom, it's like we had so back where the crapper was, where the restroom was, there's the washer and dryers back there. And it doesn't matter who was back there taking a shit. It's like she popped out from behind the washer and she started having a conversation with you. She would just be like, "Hey, who's in there?
Are you pooping in there?"
He'd be like, "God," her name was Nidra. Crazy name, huh? He'd be like, "Geez, Nidra, I'm going to be in here for a little while." She'd be like, "Oh, you off work today?" She would continue to have a conversation with you while you're in the shitter.
Yeah, could never really have a moment to yourself using the bathroom.
Yeah. I should tell the story right now, though, since we're talking about the shitter over there.
What
about
story?
the time that I flood the shitter.
Yeah, we can go ahead and tell that story.
Yeah, so this is hilarious. This actually happened when I was over there one time, and I actually flood the shitter.
No, I think we were living there.
No, we were just over there.
Oh, okay.
No, we were just over there. This was back in the day, y'all. Back in the day, though. So I flood the shitter, and we end up cleaning up the restroom, and we're throwing all the towels.
Me and John's in the bathroom.
Like I told you, the washer and dryer's right there. So we're throwing all the towels after we just cleaned up all the water. Like one of them times where like not only do you flood the shitter, but all the water like comes up higher than the
spewing
toilet
over.
and
It's
comes like
overflowing.
flowing out, right? So we're cleaning it up, and I'm sorry if you guys are eating dinner or something like that, but we're cleaning it up, and we throw all the towels on top of the dryer.
No,
and,
throw them in the basket that's on
Yep.
top of the washer.
And then right after that, it was like barely misting out, like raining a little bit. My brother Bill just comes in and just grabs one of the towels out of it,
No, it was-
wipes off both of his arms, wipes his face with it, and then looks at us and throws it back in there and just walks on.
No, it's
And
pouring
we
down
were like
raining.
fucking like jaw dropped. There wasn't even any time to tell him or anything like that, even though I probably wouldn't have, because I think it's kind of funny. But there's another story for you there.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Hey, I was asking her the other day if she knew what hide the sausage was.
I didn't know what hide the sausage was.
She didn't know what hide the sausage was, guys.
At first, I was like,
She thought it was like a Cleveland steamer.
no,
Or she was thinking it was a rusty trombone.
No, I thought it had something to do with the exit only, and I'm like, does it have something to do with exit only?
Hey,
And I'm sure a lot of people know what I'm talking about when I
Yeah.
say exit only, right? Because this man right here, I don't know what the hell happens. Sometimes he gets like his hair up his ass, and he thinks that he's gonna be able
I
to
get
like.
a hair up my ass.
He thinks he's gonna be able to like talk me into like doing something, and I'm like, no, that's exit only. I was like, don't you even dare try. Look at him, like he thinks that no. I just told him I like.
I'm gonna get your boo boo, girl.
No, you ain't gonna get my boo boo. You are not
So,
gonna get my boo boo.
Yeah, this
He already
podcast
knows
just
what would happen.
it just went X-rated. Somebody right now is listening to it in the morning eating their breakfast burrito. You sitting there eating your McDonald's breakfast burrito, then you hear the shit story, and then you hear that story, and yeah. So,
That's just what happens sometimes when you're married. But I have something really
oh,
funny.
she just admitted it happens sometimes when you're married.
No, I'm talking about the stories. That's exit only. That's never happened in John.
Come on, you
Riley.
men out there, tell me you ain't trying to get your old lady's boo boo.
No, that ain't happening. That's so disgusting. That is disgusting. But anyways, I was going to tell a story. We've told this story before on the podcast, but I feel like we should reshare it because this just tells you how Angela is like sweet and innocent and an angel, and I'm a saint, and just I'm not a bad individual at all. But so like back in the day, a long time ago. So I said something to John about tossing the salad, and we were having this conversation, and I was just like, "Oh, I'm just
She thought-
tossing your salad."
She thought tossing the damn salad meant telling somebody a joke.
yeah. So like
And
back in the day,
apparently, she'd been touting this around for quite a while.
yeah, back in the day, I used to work in a nursing home. Actually, my dad told me this toss the salad thing, and I thought it was just.
And her dad's
a
like the
joke.
most innocent. Like, if you tried to explain to him what tossing the salad was, he probably wouldn't even. He would just be like, like it probably wouldn't even resonate with him. That's how innocent he is.
I worked in a nursing home, and I would do it like all the time. I would, be talking to the residents and stuff like that. And I'd be like, we'd be laughing. I'd be like, oh, I'm just tossing your salad. And then one day, John tells me what tossing the salad meant.
She
and
went
I'm
in
like,
total denial.
I'm like, no, I don't know. No, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, for real, I do not know what you're talking about. So he had to call up a friend of his and had him on the phone. And, and the guy was like telling me what toss the salad is. And I was like, you're lying to me. Like, you and John are in on this. You guys are just like in on this. And I'm
She still
right
didn't
and
believe
you're
it.
wrong.
So she was still walking around chucking the old toss the salad around to everybody.
Well,
Hey,
a couple years.
I'm just tossing your salad.
couple years later. Shut up. A couple years later, John and I was sitting in the living room watching
Chris Rock.
Chris Rock, right?
When he did the whole skit on the toss the salad man in prison.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh, damn. Man, I totally got that wrong.
Yeah, that will keep kids out of prison, though. Let them meet the toss the salad man.
I was just a little naive. It's like everybody said, John was like, when we got together, John was like the big bad wolf. And then I was like, what is that? Little Miss.
Satan.
Yeah, Little Miss, right? What is it? Little Red Riding Hood.
Fuck
yeah.
it.
That's okay though.
That's what her whole family thought about me. That's probably because I was getting drunk at my kid's birthday parties when he was a kid.
Yeah.
Like his first year old birthday party.
Yeah. Just think.
Chugging Heinekens.
Just think, John is gonna be 19 here. He's gonna be 19. That's crazy.
Yep. He works for us here full time, meaning from 9 to 3:30 Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
And so yep.
On to the next thing.
All right. So that being said, guys, I'm gonna tell you a little something about this. And sorry, I had to drag you guys through the mud there to get to this point.
I think they liked it. I think they enjoyed it.
We got shit face, tossing the salad, going in your wife's boo-boo, all in one little skit there. So,
that's accent only.
Be honest with you, that's the fucking crazy thing about us. This is like the way we bullshit each other all the time.
Yeah.
Like this morning, I'll give you an example if you go watch my stories. So she's walking all fast, and I got this toe problem that somebody was super insensitive about right over here, right next to me.
No, I was
and,
not.
And
I took
so,
care of your damn toe.
so she's walking like a damn speed walker. Next thing you know, she's like a block ahead of me.
I had to get out all the
And we're walking through the energy. So you know what I said? Fuck it. I said, fuck it. These feet came on fire. Toe or not. Toe or not. These feet came on fire. I passed her ass. I literally like looped you.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah. So
I couldn't keep up with you then.
That's how you got to do it.
John's like, quit walking so fast. My legs are burning. And I'm like, this is good for you. You need this cardio.
And here I had a partial nail illusion. Just last week.
This toe thing
Just
is
last
never
week.
going to go away. So here's another story that John brings up time and time again. And this whole situation happened probably like 17 years ago, 18 years ago.
Oh, the time that you loaned your brother money and said you spent it at Kmart?
Yes.
It was like $23.
This man will never let that go. He's just always going to be constantly bringing this shit up. I'm like...
Shit, I come home, this is back, guys, when $23 ain't going to slip by a brother. All right? So we live in like a 900 square foot apartment.
Yeah.
I come home, I'm looking through the books, back then we used to write it line by line, you know what I mean? I'm looking through the books and I'm like, so $23 got spent at Kmart? She's like, yeah.
I don't even think Kmart's around anymore.
What's the next question? Natural question. What'd you buy? She couldn't lie. She couldn't get out of it. She couldn't tell.
I can't
She couldn't.
tell a lie.
She couldn't tell a lie. Broke her down. Loaned it to her punk ass brother.
Yeah.
I was like, this motherfucker gonna take my $23, and knowing he's one of them brothers that you don't loan shit to because he'll never pay it back. So he still owes us that $23.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it is what it is. Okay.
But going back.
That's because I have so much shit on him. Like I can bring up stuff like a list like
a fucking mile long,
forever
man.
and ever and ever.
Fucking mile
John
long.
only has like a couple things, and that's about it.
But you know what? I can always go back to them. That's the thing. Like she can pick anything on that damn list. She can pick anything on that damn list, and I got a few things I can go back on, and I can counter the opposition.
And you're like, Angela, come on now. How long has this been? You need to like let this shit go. Like that.
And then when she won't, I'll be like, so about that $23. Yeah. What about it? Let's hear about it. Come on. What'd you buy? Nope. You loaned it to your brother.
That was a long time ago, too.
Yeah.
A super duper long time ago.
Hell, the same brother they argue about, just like on the last podcast, about who hit who with the baseball bat first. That same brother.
I'm just going to let him have that one.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, though, I guess like if it, really went that way, I wish I would have hit him a lot harder in the head with the baseball bat.
So, guys, I've been looking at this for a little while. Actually, finished it today. And what I've actually created here is something that not only do I live by, but I'm going to fully begin to live by like at even a higher level. Especially since I just fucking created the shit and just finished it today,
That's good.
And essentially, this is going to go in my Marketing Savage book. It's in there, but it isn't formatted like this. So when we do the second round of edits, I'm going to be adding this in there. I actually just sent it over to Catherine, who is my book editor, and she loved it. She got goosebumps by it. We talked about it when we met with her in Park City, and she admitted that she wasn't too hot on the idea then. And once I sent it over to her and she's seen it today, she definitely wants to add it to the book. We just started the group, so I'm going to build some structure around this. Essentially, one of the things I do, guys, at the beginning of a week on Sunday, I'll literally try to fill out my whole schedule for the week. I'll try to understand exactly what I'm going to be doing at 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., from noon to 1, whatever, throughout the entire week. And the whole idea behind that is that I can actually begin controlling the direction of where I want that week to go, okay? So if I got a week, I want it to go in a specific direction. I want to put the things in there, the items in there, like the non-negotiables, the things that I know I absolutely need to accomplish. I absolutely need to do that week. And there's other things in there that may or may not get done depending on how everything, it's like a GPS, guys. So, one of the things I learned from Sean Whalen is that when you begin structuring your week, it's like a GPS. And literally, sometimes you will come across a blocked road or a closed road. However, you can jump back on your calendar, you can get back on track, and you can begin moving things around based on priority, okay? So whatever that top priority is, whatever that, a big thing that y'all want to fucking accomplish that week, okay? So literally, we got like an overarching goal. And one of the things I liked is that Elon Musk, he actually wrote something, is to take your 10-year plan. So whatever you have in your mind, your 10-year plan, where you want to be in 10 years, what you would like to accomplish in 10 years, and then go try to get it done in 6 months, okay? So go try to get it done in 6 months. But the only way that you can actually accomplish that is you focus on what's happening moment by moment by moment, okay? So literally, you got this big overarching plan. So you take it and you break down, so what do I got to do, to get this done? You break it down into small little chunks. Everything is accomplished in tiny little chunks. It's like, how do you eat a dinosaur? You eat the dinosaur one little bite at a time. So you got this big overarching goal. Well, how do you eat them little chunks, okay? You do them by living in the moment and by scheduling your week accordingly. So you're taking a bite from that dinosaur each and every hour. You got an overarching goal. You can actually kind of control the direction that you're going in, and you're actually moving towards the success that you're trying to achieve, okay? Well, part of that, there's got to be some sort of balance in your life. And I truly believe that this, what we want to call the M4, which is the Marketing Savage 4 Elements of Pursuit. And it's the daily code of conduct and a path to greatness. I thought about this for a long time, y'all. And it finally all came to me today, especially once I invited a bunch of people to the group and everybody was so excited to get in there. And I really have a good feeling about this. My book editor, Catherine, she's read a lot of books, like a shitload of books, and she just really feels that this book is going to have a huge ripple effect. What a lot of people don't realize is that it's very spiritual, So, and just like that, your marketing life. This isn't just a clear-cut marketing book, a cookie-cutter marketing book like any other book out there. This is one that goes deep into self-development, of becoming like the best version of yourself, to be able to apply that to your work. A lot of people don't understand that. Like, you got to really work on yourself to be able to churn out a product that is going to impact the world at a higher level. You have to be at that higher level. If you're just, it just doesn't matter what you learn, what you're out there trying to apply. If it's not coming from a good place, it's never going to resonate with people in the way that you want it, So you got to be able to tie your dreams, tie your passion, tie your purpose, all of this into your mission. And so that's why the book is so much different than your traditional, cookie cutter marketing book, because, I've read a lot of them cookie cutter marketing books. And essentially, I'm able to put the best of two worlds. I've spent a lot of time understanding, like at a deep level, marketing, and I've spent a lot of time on a spiritual journey, understanding myself at a deep level and understanding how to, let's just say, take your dreams and make them manifest, okay? Like to take your dreams and how to pursue that and how to actually do it in a way that is actually practical, a practical application. Everything is done by the moment, guys, and you got to begin controlling them moments. And even if, a lot of folks that might be listening to this, you might have a service-based company or something like that, and you're out there working in the business. Well, there's things that I'm going to teach you in this book that will help you majorly with that, because many of you guys know that I am, I'm the same way, and I was majorly that way, years ago. So, the M4 here is meaning, mastery, money, and moment.
Money, 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 money.
Yep. So the meaning part of it is to be self-aware and finding your true self. I mean, that's the number one goal. That's the number one goal. Finding like what the fuck you want. When I say being self-aware, like really truly understanding like what the fuck is it that you want, okay? Like you want to ask yourself that like hundreds of times per day. Like, what do you want? Okay, what do you want? We actually, that really hit me when we went to Lions Den Live. And that was like a huge takeaway there. That was one of my big takeaways there. And, a lot of things I heard and I realized that it's something that I already did. I've went after a lot of things that I want. And I try to live on that plane, but I'm even living like on it at a higher level. So the number one is meaning, okay? Meaning. What's the meaning behind your life? What's the butterfly effect, right? They say, you guys heard of the butterfly effect, where a butterfly flaps its wing and it caused a hurricane on the other side of the world. What's your butterfly effect? How are you impacting people in this world? Are you giving them you? Because the truth of the matter is, that's one of the reasons why you have to find yourself at such a deep level, because you are the actual gift the world wants. And each one of us we're all very unique at the highest level. But the problem is we've been taught to act like clones, or to act like sheep, or to follow, other people's instructions rather than self-seeking and finding our internal guidance or our internal instructions that are being given to us all the time from inside. And there's been little clues in listen to your conscience, That's your fucking conscience. Your conscience is like literally telling you what you need to do and what you should be doing. When you listen to and allow outside forces to dictate who you are, what you do, and what you become, that's when you live a miserable life. So that's always number one, is to find your meaning, and to do that through self-awareness, and to do that through finding your own true self, okay? And a lot of people say, well, I don't know what I like or what I want. Well, that's your first mission. That's your first goal, is that, okay? You should be on a journey to find that and realize that it changes and it evolves, and it's growth that you're actually seeking when you find a deeper meaning. I'm not going to be the same person sitting here a year from now, guys. I am, my intention is to fully and always evolve into something better. And the next thing is mastery, okay? So you want to develop mastery. And I've heard a lot of people talk about this in a way where you just develop it like in a physical manner. And that's super important, like being physically fit and stuff like that, super important. But you also want to develop the mental mastery, okay? You want to develop, you need to be on a pursuit towards greatness. And that's the number two, is the mastery. You always want to be on a pursuit towards greatness, all right? Now you notice I didn't say that you're to be great, or you are to be some figure of greatness, okay? No, but you should be on always a daily, and it's an everyday journey that you got to wake up on a pursuit of greatness. Think about the times that you've had in your life that were the greatest. You were always on a pursuit of greatness. You were always some form of mastery was coming out of you at that time. That's always been the greatest times that you've ever had in your life, are during these times. And whether the mastery is coming from falling in love, you know what I mean? There's a sense of mastery behind that. There is. It's undeniable that there's a sense of mastery behind that.
So
and
Of
course. Yeah, of course. My game was on tight when we met. My game was legit when we met, right?
I think you were just being your natural self, babe.
Yep.
You guys want to hear something though? Like when John and I first met, it would like I still even remember to this day, like exactly what we were wearing. So like we met at a person that we both knew, and she's just like, "Oh, I invited these guys over," and I'm just like, "Oh dear God, really?" So like John's friend Ricky comes walking through the door, and I'm like, "Okay, okay." And then John walks through the door, and I'm like,
she like, damn.
no, it wasn't like
she
that.
like, woo.
John,
Fan my bottom side. Fan my bottom side.
John came walking through the
Lord.
door, and it was like the room lit up like 3 shades. Like it got 3 shades brighter. And I remember he had a pair of white Vans on, Lucky brand jeans, a sweater that he bought from Goodwill that was cream and it had a little bit of brown in it, and he had a hemp necklace on.
It won't even fit around my big ass neck anymore.
And the bead, it was a yellow bead with blue polka dots on it, and then he had a double deuce of Heineken in his hand. And I myself was wearing a pair of white Adidas tennis shoes, a pair of Lucky brand jeans, and a red Abercrombie and Finch shirt. And I had blonde hair at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And John was letting his hair grow out. So it was like all the guys I dated prior were just kind of very like clean cut. And John kind of had this like, he was a very free spirit, had that whole hippiness going on, just kind of like living in the moment, just like, let's do something.
Path of fucking mastery.
Yeah, like let's just do something off the fly. And I was just like so drawn into that, and we just stayed up all night chit-chatting, and then we were like inseparable after that.
Yeah. So, that being said, all right, so we'll go back to, we had meaning, we got mastery, and the third thing is money, okay? And the crazy thing is, I actually put a post on my wall, I don't know, 2 or 3 posts down. It was very interesting to see the way people react with money. And I would imagine if I had like a stronger liberal following, there would have been a lot more people on there like flipping their shit, like, money is not this and this and that and all this shit about money, on and 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 on. Bullshit. It's bullshit. Money is an amplifier. So all money does is expand your energy of who you are. Okay. And to use it for anything else is just absolutely ridiculous. It's like I wrote over and over again on that post that money is a great servant and it's a horrible master. Money is a fucking horrible master. Like, you don't want to be a slave to money. And I'm telling you guys, the people that like have all these fucking like crazy opinions and shit like that about it, that are all abstract and all these thoughts, but yet if you like literally, if you ask them, well, since you don't like money so much, how about you just give me all yours? They would look at you in such offense, like, how dare you fucking try to take my money? But I hate my money, right?
You can't have it.
They're giving it. They are a slave to that. They are a slave to that, okay? Like other than keeping a scoreboard behind me and being able to expand my energy, you got guys like Mark Evans on, you'll see him comment on some of my posts, and if you check out his wall, you'll see that I think he does like a video every fucking day. Well, Mark's a baller, man. He knows a lot about money, but he can't stand it to have too much money sitting in his bank because it's tied up, man. It ain't out there fucking working for him. Your money's energy. It needs to go to work, right? It needs to, it's part of you. It's an extension of you. It's just energy. So the more money you have, if you want good things in the world, if you want great things to happen in the world, you can make more good and great things happen in the world. And that's why people, you may have got me wrong on some of this when people talk about, like, I'll say a lot of times, like, people who are real funny around money and people get all sketchy about it, like, I don't fucking trust them. Yeah. Like, right off the bat, like I would never go into business with you if you can't come to peace with fucking something that's like an inanimate object or something that's basically a fucking tool. If you can't come to peace with that, I don't want to do business with you, man. You know what I mean? You're too emotional over something we're just going to use as a fucking tool. But it's important because it is a tool. And it is the current exchange that we live by, okay? And you can amplify your message with it. And it does make your message more powerful. So you know what? I want all the fucking marketing savages to have it all. And not to mention, that, look, if you're a marketing savage, you're in the business of making fucking money. You need to come to terms with it. Don't be like the fucking bipolar girlfriend that hates you one minute and loves you the next minute. You know what I mean? Because think about like some of these motherfuckers that like say they hate money, it's the root of all evil, but then at the same time they won't fucking let go of theirs and give all theirs to me. Right? So they want to hang on to the root. It's like a bipolar fucking situation. And you don't want to be bipolar with anything, especially like an inanimate object, something that's not even fucking talking to you.
Yep.
You know what I mean? If money was a person, like I always look at this, like money was a person, like how would they look at me? How would it look at me? Is it going to look at me like some bipolar bitch that hates it and says, God, you suck. You're the reason for all my pain, money.
Nah.
But Jesus, I get so fucking upset when I don't have you.
It's going to look at you.
I get so upset when I don't have you, money.
So delicious.
But
I'm going to eat you up.
I hate you so much. I hate you so much. You know what I mean? Like
you
don't
up.
be like the fucked up bipolar ex-girlfriend with money. I mean, that's the reason why a lot of people don't have it. They just don't understand it's fucking math.
Can't you say boyfriend, though, too? I mean, like, come on now. We can't just say all women are bipolar now, John.
Oh, well, I'm sure there's the bipolar dude, too. So
Men have issues, too.
And probably, now, you guys notice I did this in a certain order because I believe that once you find your meaning, you're to find mastery in that meaning. So you find your meaning, you become self-aware, and then you find your mastery in that meaning. And then you make a bunch of fucking money so you can amplify the bad motherfucker that you just became. You know what I mean? So you just became a badass motherfucker because you got meaning, you got mastery. Now you got motherfucking money.
Getting it on.
You got fucking baller money, son. All right? So now you know your meaning. You're a fucking master of your shit. And you got fucking money to do something about it.
Yeah.
That's the order this shit came in, right?
Yep.
And then at that time, at any time, really through the whole series, really the most important one, that's why I put it fourth, is that a moment. The moment, okay? Because number one, the moment is where life is lived, and it's probably the one thing that I would say I struggle with the most is being in the moment. Because I'm always thinking and having these dreams of what's happening in the future. I'm rarely thinking in the past. I rarely think in the past. A lot of times I'm thinking in the future. But living in the moment is where we connect. It's where relationships are built. And it's where love is. It's where you find love in every single moment. And the bottom line is, I had it broke down to me like this. Like when you're on your deathbed, you're not counting how much money you had in the bank. You're sitting there thinking about the moments that were created through your entire life.
Yeah.
Moment by moment by moment by moment. Did I live a good life based on moment by moment by moment? Was I the greatest that I could possibly be? And you're looking at moment by moment by moment by moment. Okay? And that's one of the reasons why I love dogs so much. Because and probably cats do the same thing too. In fact, but I know we had that whole thing last week with the cat and the dog people. But let me just finish by saying with the dogs real quick.
All right.
They bring you into the moment. That's what brings us so much joy. When your dog comes running up to you and you stop every fucking thing you're doing, and you're going, "Hey, Fluffy," and you're going, petting the dog in the head, "Hey, Fluffy, how you doing?" And the dog's jumping up on you, that dog pulled you into the moment. Because they live in the fucking moment. Yeah. They live there, okay? So to become, and this is something I put in there that's harder for me, and it's something that I am on a journey of mastery. I want to live more in the moment. I want to be more present, and I want to enjoy life at the moment. You know what I mean? I enjoy a lot of life thinking about the future and constructing the things that I'm going to do. And a lot of my thoughts, guys, what you got to understand is like, if you can imagine my thoughts being like a whiteboard up on a wall, I'm like drawing where I want to go and then all these different scenarios on how to get there. And then all day long, I'm thinking of all the scenarios and all the things that I could do in that moment to help get me to that big major goal. And sometimes I'm at fault for not living in that moment. So that's something I want to become better at because there's so much power in the moment. I almost remind you of, you guys ever have one of them moments where you're just sitting there and just everything just seems surreal and everything seems like serene around you? I believe that that's one of the times that we're being shown that God is near or that God is here, with us in the moment. God's not in the future. God's not behind us. in the past. He lives in the moment. And when we can sink ourselves into that moment just for a little bit of time, it brings our consciousness and our perspective like to such a higher level. And it brings us to a level of gratitude that's not felt at any other time. Just that gratefulness for the moment that, that you're breathing, that you're seeing, that you're smelling, that you're living, that moment brings us closest to God, in my opinion, than anything. It's like one of the most humble moments ever. You're not grateful of anything other than just being here. And you're being shown for one moment that you're standing there, in the presence of what God has created.
Oh, that is so good.
I told you it was going to be a Sunday sermon.
That was really, really good. Is that did you feel that way when we were out in Utah?
Times. You don't, them moments don't last forever.
Standing there, looking at the mountains and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
of course. Yeah, there's definitely moments that when you're looking at massive fucking mountains. One of the things that I couldn't get over as I'm looking at the mountains is that, okay, I mean, a man can create a building, a massive fucking skyscraper, but look at what God created, and we can't even fucking come close. Not even close to building anything that's of such beauty as a mountain.
Yeah.
Just one fucking mountain. There's nothing in the world that I believe that us as men have ever been able to create that's even comes close to the beauty of just one mountain.
Yeah. That was so good. That was really good, John Hiley.
I threw her off track, didn't I?
Yeah.
Well, we were talking when we were talking.
Gets me all emotional.
When me and her, when we were talking yesterday.
Hold back them tears.
When we were talking yesterday, during this time with the COVID-19 and stuff like that, man, sometimes it's hard for us to be grateful, and it's something that I've really moved towards, and I've really felt a deep sense of gratitude within the last couple weeks. And she was talking about something the other day, and I said the one thing. I listened to a book called The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles, and it's a fucking wonderful book. Any of you guys listen to it? I listen to it about once a week, and he says something that you draw an eye to God, and God will draw an eye to you. And to be honest with you guys, look, I'm not trying to get Christian church religious on you. You can call it the fucking universe, call it whatever you want. I don't give a shit. Okay, that's what I call it. So you draw an eye to God, and God will draw an eye to you. And the same thing will happen if you dwell upon the inferior, you become the inferior. So if you dwell upon all the times and you're dwelling on inferior thoughts, you take the shape and the form of them inferior thoughts. You become them, you become that of inferior. Okay? If you dwell on the poor and the squalid in the world in general, and you dwell on it and you let it come out, you become that. Okay? But you draw an eye onto God, and God will draw an eye to you. And what's some of the ways that you draw an eye to God? It's walking in faith. It's gratitude. Gratitude is the way that we get the closest to the creator of the fucking world, is that we're grateful, and that we're walking in faith, and that we believe that everything is working towards us. Everything is working for us. Nothing's working against us. Even when something bad happens, you got to have a deep-seated belief that there's something going on behind the scenes that's actually working in your favor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even when something bad happens, you've got to have, and that's true faith. That's living and walking in faith. And, the whole Marketing Savage movement that I'm putting together here, it has a lot to do with walking in faith.
Yeah.
And it has a lot to do with expecting great things to happen while you work towards it. But while you work towards it through your true self, okay? Through finding your true self and delivering that light to the world. Okay. So delivering that light to the world. I actually heard a quote one time that poor people were the most selfish people. And that would shock a lot of fucking people. And in fact, the dude who had wrote that quote, Grant Cardone, he shocked a lot of fucking people whenever he said that, even me. I'm like, I heard that, and I'm like, what the fuck is this, you know? I thought that, like, the rich people were the greedy people and the poor people were the ones that just gave everything up, right? But look at it through this lens. Look at it through this perspective. Everybody has something inside of them that they could deliver and give to the world, that they could actually bring through themselves and deliver it and give it to the world. If they're not doing that, that's one of the most selfish things that you can do, because you're depriving the entire world of having a piece of you.
You're also depriving yourself.
What do we want in this world? We want scarcity, things that are and things that are unique. Each and every person has in their DNA fucking absolute, you know, we're all diamonds, man. We're all unique. We're all absolutely fucking incredible inside in some way or another. Like everybody I've ever fucking known in my life, some of the biggest shitheads, they had something. They had something inside of them. They had something inside of them that if they continue to bring that out of them, they would have just brought so much so much good shit to the world through just that one thing. You know, and the truth of the matter is, it's selfish of us not to go on pursuit of what that one thing is inside of us. You know, I think Jesus used to talk about shining your light on the world. And that's exactly what he meant. That's exactly what he meant, you know.
Like they say, or like Dolly Parton says, it's hard being a diamond in a rhinestone world.
Yeah.
It really is. But I want to tell you guys something, and this is like so silly. So with all this coronavirus, I like to call it the Corona-ho, because the reason why I call it that is because I'm making light of the situation to bring me some giggles inside. So you remember like in the very beginning where we had like this paper shortage, you know, with like paper towels and toilet paper and this and that.
All you dirty motherfuckers that stole all the toilet paper?
Yeah, well, okay, so I'm going to tell you guys something. And I told John this the other day. So that kind of like messed with me a little bit in my head.
She has to look down the aisle, man.
So like...
She has to look down that fucking aisle.
So anyways, we went into Target the other day, and like when you go into the Target, they have like a board, and it tells you what they have in stock and what they're low on. And they said that they were low on paper towels. And here I am, like inside of me, I'm like, oh my God, I need to go buy some paper towels, even though I didn't even need any at home, okay? So I'm like in there, and I'm like getting this like rush going on inside of me, and I'm like,
I look at her, I'm like, don't go down that fucking
aisle. I'm like,
aisle.
I need to go look at the paper towel aisle. I need to see how bad it is.
I told her, I'm like, you don't need that shit.
Like, I need to see how bad this is. And John's like, and number one, he's looking at me like, really, Angela? And I'm like, I've been holding this in, John. I was like, this is I was like, it fucked with me. I'm sorry. It got in my head and it fucked with me, okay? I let it get in there and it fucked with me.
Next thing you know, you're going to end up being a fucking cat person.
No, I'm not going to be a cat person. But anyways, I'm not, John, we will talk. No. Okay. But anyways, so we're in Target and I walk over by the paper towel aisle and I'm looking and I'm like, oh my God, there's really not that many paper towels here. I'm like, should I buy some, John? And John's like, no, Angela. And I was like, and then I told him, I go, well, maybe since we belong to Costco, we should just go over there, because I bet they got like a shitload of paper towels, and then it's going to make me feel better. But I'm telling you, like, it fucked with me, and I'm like,
I'm wearing this in Costco.
I'm just like, why in the world? I let that whole paper towel thing, it wasn't so much about the toilet paper. Like, I always have plenty of toilet paper, but something with paper towels. It was just like, it got into my, them fuckers got into my head, and they were able to get in my head, and they were able to fuck with me. Ugh. And now I gotta get rid of that shit.
She's got to go through a paper product therapy. Next
Yes,
thing
I
you're
do.
gonna know, you're gonna be like that crazy ass bitch that was eating a fucking couch.
No, I don't. Oh my God. No.
Do you remember that shit though?
That's off of like Hoarders or something. No,
Yeah,
no,
it
no,
was
not
some-
Hoarders. It's like a weird
Some sort of
addiction.
weird addiction show.
Yes.
This crazy ass bitch was eating a couch. Like she couldn't stop eating couch cushion. And speaking
I'm
of
not gonna
hoarder,
be. Just don't worry. John's not gonna come home, and one day I'm gonna just have like paper towels everywhere all over the house, and I'm gonna be swimming in them. That's not going to happen. But I
Yeah.
let them fuck with me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
speaking of fucking hoarders, there was a lady that literally could not decide. Like she wanted to keep an old dirty fucking
my God, here
toilet
we
seat
go.
that was in her front yard. So like her front yard was like scattered full of shit, you know what I mean? Just for whatever. And there's an old dirty toilet seat there, and she's getting emotional over it. She's shaking her head and, you know, breathing really hard. She's like, I just don't think I can let this go. Who the fuck has an old dirty toilet seat that's out in their front yard that they're emotionally attached to?
I don't know.
That's why I'm here to save the world.
And one thing I do want to clear up about cat people.
We got a lot of cat people around here, man. We found that out the other day when you said all of them was crazy.
No, I said there's something weird about them. I'm not talking about the people that have like a few cats.
I grew up with a cat.
So did I.
Its name was Sweetie. It acted like a dog. I fed it all the time.
When I was pregnant, we had one named Kilo.
You know where our mind was? When the party runs out and you hang out, Kilo.
No, I don't mean like if you have a few cats, like that's cool. I'm talking about people that have like a large amount of cats inside and outside. Like there's something not right up there, but that can happen with other stuff. Like, you know, they're hoarding cats or hoarding
I love my cats.
objects or something of that nature. But I did want to read this quote because, like, I save a lot of quotes in my phone. Because, like, whenever there's, like, a certain...
I'll say something to her. She'll get this look in her eyes. She'll be like, go give me my phone.
I do not. That's you. You and your damn phone. Okay. And this is, like, this has a lot of truth to it. Because I feel like in society, we tend to do this quite a bit. Talking about our problems is our greatest addiction. Break the habit and talk about your joys.
I told her ass, I was like, you ever hear me talk about my problems? I was like, you ever hear me talk about my problems? She's like,
Yes.
She sits there and thinks for a minute. She's like,
Yes.
no. Well, except for your toe.
No, I have another good one too. Here, and I'll let you elaborate on this one. Okay, people get addicted to being offended because it gives them a high.
Fuck yeah, people do. I don't even know what that's about because I do not think there's anything that can fucking offend me anymore.
No, not you, John Hiley.
I think it gives them, I just think it gives them this sense of, especially like fucking white liberal people. Like they are the worst. Like I can almost understand like if you're a black liberal or you're a Spanish liberal or something like that, but the fucking white liberal people, like they want to be that so they can get offended. You know what I mean? Like they literally want to be that just so they can get offended.
But there's also, I think what it sometimes like with that, I think sometimes people will want to be offended because they don't want to deal with their own shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
They can point the finger to somebody else, be like,
exactly,
that's
because
my
they
problem.
don't want to like look within themselves and be like, oh my God, I'm such a shitty person. I got all this shit, all this baggage that I've never fucking dealt with ever since I was a little kid, and now I'm an adult. Now I'm still a piece of shit, but blah 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 this and blah 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 that. And it's just like, come on now.
But I'm not racist. So there. All right. So I may be a piece of shit. I may not pay my bills on time. I may do a bunch of shitty shit to a lot of people, but I'm not racist. So guess what, motherfucker? I'm offended.
And that's it.
Oh, you want to build a wall, Mr. Trump? Oh, you do? You're fucking racist.
Well, I mean, even honestly, like sometimes you can tell somebody something like give them some really good positive advice, and they're gonna be like, "You fucking offended me," and I'm just thinking like, man, you got some deep seated shit that you haven't worked on.
You know, one of the biggest problem is with like just the word racist in general.
Yeah.
Is that like when I was a kid, you know, I've talked about this before. Like when I was a fucking kid, if you were to call me or one of my friends racist, we would want to fucking fight you. Like that's how offensive of a term it was back then.
Yeah.
Because at the time, it still had a little shred of meaning. Okay.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is it has meaning, right? But the meaning has been taken out of context so many fucking times and has been used in so many inappropriate ways and has literally, it's like anything anybody fucking does, and it's usually white liberal people that fucking are so. I have never been called a racist by somebody who was black or somebody who was Spanish or somebody who was, you know, any other fucking nationality except for a fucking white liberal person. And they literally call anybody racist for anything that they say or do. I had a photo on my wall of Jimi Hendrix playing a guitar, and it had Joe Biden sniffing his hair, and it said, "Excuse me why I sniff this guy."
Yeah.
I got fucking called racist for that photo. There was nothing racist about that photo, okay? So they've literally diluted the word at such a level that if somebody calls you racist, you're just like, okay, whatever, man. Yeah, you guys just fucking use that term for everybody, so who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
You know, like nobody gives a fuck anymore. The word has lost its meaning because of fucking white liberal pieces of shit, basically. White liberal pieces of shit have ruined the word racism. And literally people have just sat back and let them fucking do it. You know, and I've never heard anybody come up and say, hey man, like, you know, that's not somebody another like liberal person that's of color or something like that. Like, hey man, John's not being racist there. You know, racism is when somebody thinks that their race is superior to another race because of the color of their skin. You know, so what he's saying there with the Jimi Hendrix, that's not racist. That's fucking funny. You know what I mean? But no, the white liberals, anything you fucking do, you're racist. Racist this, racist that. So they've diluted the word down to the point where it has no meaning. That's a double-edged sword. It's a pretty fucking important word. You know what I mean? Like, look, I don't like racism, man. I'm not out here trying to say that this race or that race. I mean, a man's a fucking man. It doesn't matter the color of their skin, or a woman's a fucking woman. It doesn't matter the color of their skin. But these stupid motherfuckers went out there and called people racist for any fucking thing that bothers them. Anything that offends them, the person's fucking racist. They diluted the word down to the point where it has no meaning. It's fucking pathetic. It's horrible. You know, just so they could have a little fucking, what is that, a little endorphin high for being offended?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? They get a little high off of it because they can be offended?
Because some people get addicted to that shit, though. So they're going to act. I mean, in all honesty, think about it. Some people will just go out there and try to provoke somebody so that way they can get offended, and then, it's almost like being like, feeling like the victim.
Or look at the fucking news. The news has literally became so fucking pathetic that there was like a fucking million-person march. Was that over in Germany? Or in the UK? Like 1 million fucking people over there. It had to have been more than 1 million people. And what did our fucking American media, the CNNs and all that shit of the world, labeled them all as neo-Nazi fucking
that was
groups?
over there in Germany because they're protesting against the...
labeled them all as fucking neo-Nazi groups.
With the coronavirus.
Dude, they just fucking, they went, so these people go outside of their fucking stupid narrative, so they label them all as racist. You know what I'm saying? That's another example of the word just being fucking diluted.
I just feel like people use that word because they're trying to cause some type of way to further divide us, instead of like just all getting together and hanging out and having some good conversations about stuff.
You know, that's kind of why we need aliens to show up here. Like kind of mean ones that we'll have to fight off. Because look, I'm telling you guys, if fucking aliens showed up here that were mad as fuck and they were kind of like mean and shit, but like we had to fight them off and kill them.
Yeah.
We wouldn't give a fuck if you were fucking black, white, brown, whatever. We'd be like, we're fucking humans.
Yeah,
You're
joining
fucking
together.
aliens, motherfuckers. We're kicking your fucking ass, right? We would all come together
that is
in a
true.
fucking space battle against aliens as fucking brothers and sisters of this planet Earth.
We would.
Best thing could ever happen to us is a fucking alien attack right now. Y'all want to bring the whole world together?
Yeah.
Bring some fucking mean-ass aliens up here and flying saucers and shit fucking heading towards us.
Yeah.
We'll get out there and fuck them up.
That is a really good point.
We'll find their weak spot, man. I hope it's like the aliens that came on The Simpsons, you know? How like they think like everything cute is ugly and everything like ugly is super cute, you know?
Oh,
So you could like scare them away with a puppy. They'd be like, "Oh God, ugh. Oh, a teddy bear." Ah!
Cotton.
Yeah. Hey. Everybody knows I'm scared of Cotton.
Oh, I would love it. In all honesty, whoever we see next and they listen to this. That
Oh
they have a
shit,
piece
Eddie.
of cotton.
Hey, Eddie Elliott said that half the world would still call us racist because you killed the poor aliens.
No,
I don't
come
know,
on
man.
now.
We need some vicious ones, Eddie. Ones that like ate some liberal people's heads off.
And
Maybe
it
they
has
come
weird
down and
teeth.
like fucking rip Obama's head off in front of everybody and then rip Trump's head off and then piss us all off at the same time. We're
there
like,
you go.
killed Obama. And they're like, they killed Trump. And like, all right, brother, let's put aside these politics and let's go fuck these aliens up their stupid asses. If they have asses. They may or may not.
That's actually, I think that's a good thing. I think that's what really needs to happen.
I just figured it out,
I
guys.
do believe. I think you did just figure it out. You figured out what's going to bring us all together.
An attack from aliens. All right.
Yeah.
So that's it, y'all. We appreciate you. I'm going to bounce out of here. We got to go. We got to go. Appreciate it, Eddie. Thanks for jumping in there, brother. Throwing in some of that fucking narrative.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. So anyhow, we appreciate you. And as usual, we go see you on that next one. And scroll down. Post right underneath here. You guys come to my wall if you're listening to this podcast. Join the Marketing Savage group while I still leave it open. Okay?
Open.
We'll see you on the next one.
Bang, bang. You're supposed to say pew, pew.
Pew, pew.
There we go.